Hey, what's up? How to do today? How you doing there tonight, or tomorrow morning, or tomorrow, or to yesterday, or to now, and forever had been, and what could be, and what had ever been said, had already been said before, had been said, to thought to be said, and there you go like that. And you can be anything you want to be in this old world, because this world ain't nothing but this old world, been running around, turning in circles, this and that. Yeah, as far as you go ahead, you've been about to go home back where you came before, because it's been a big old circle like that the whole time. But you are you, and you is you, and will speak to you, mean to you, and you have the interest in this life to do what you like to do and be who you like to be, and that can be any old thing you like to be, and that have been different than anything came before you've been born and after you've been born, about to be born again. And so I say you is about the only thing original in this world, but had already been going around, and be who you like to be and do who you like to be. But also know that hadn't been done like you did before. So what's new to you is true to you, and what's true to you is new to this world. Like that, baby. How it go like that, baby? Yeah, with the rock and roll and the Irie. And I get up back on the old shitty guitar. I had exchanged the thing. First I had the red thing, the guitar thing like that boy that wrote out there like that boy. Then I went back to the old Spanish guitar thing, because I said, man, I miss me the Spanish guitar thing. It's so romantic like that. And the thing those things did like that. And once you learn the guitar thing on the sensitive string thing like that, and the romantic thing like that, you can play any old other thing. Because what's bigger and better than the romance had been nothing. Because anything big and bad, this and that, you got to do this and that, hey, you had did this and that, and bigger, better than the Romeo and Juliet, and had stuck your neck out like that, worse than the Romeo had did for the Juliet thing. But the Juliet thing had also risk embarrassment like that in front of friends and family and foes and all this and that kind of like that. For the Romeo thing like that, it had been more romantic thing like that. But I got home back to romantic thing, but then I said, me, damn, I do like me the little old rock and roll thing. And a lot of people, if we being honest, if you exchange whatever you do for a living, whatever old little thing you do for a living, and make a little money like that, you enjoy the weekend like that, but it ain't what you want to do all the time like that. If you been honest like that, you ain't been born for the rock and roll. You know you been born for the rock and roll. But the rock and roll been born for the electric guitar thing, boy. And I took me a little old lesson with somebody named money damn and this and that, but taught me damn about the electric guitar. But he hadn't also been the classic guitar thing, so I went and learned me some lesson with the classic guitar thing. And I'm about to go roll if I can, if I been so help me. I about to roll up on my boy, well, my teacher thing, man. Do the thing, but then back and the halftime thing, and the referee for the whole damn crowd of the whole damn world. And then, so a lot of y'all, if you would be honest with yourself, you been born for the rock and roll, but the rock and roll been born for the electric guitar. And my boy today, been the best day ever, but he been born for the. He was not only was he born for the electric guitar, but the electric guitar was born for him. But I know the boy name, what happened to the lesson, what the name, boy, was all back over electric guitar way. Then I went on back into the store where I had exchanged the Rudolph name for that romantic thing, but I come back to the yellow thing now. I'm over yellow side now as a guitar thing go, boy. And my boy, damn, the dang, nice old thing in the whole St. Paul. A lot of y'all like to read, a lot of y'all Bible thumper, not the boy over there with the Bible thumper, or the only thing showing down is the Bible thumper thing. But my city had been named after the St. Paul, and he ran into all the modern epistles, boy, all them epistles, and then some of the cream of the Bible. You save the cream for the last thing. Some of the cream of the Bible been in the epistle thing, and have been epistle been in the name of the Paul thing, boy. Then I do me so work, but it gets so dangerous amount of citizen. So I get up out the way, and some little old way to not all the way out the way, but little out the way. Then I met the pretty old lady working at something, and her granddaddy had founded the St. Paul. Her granddaddy founded whatever we call the Twin Cities and St. Paul, and had somehow named the thing St. Paul. But damn, I forgot what the hell I was talking about with the thing. But if you get onto the cream of the thing of it, is it more or less about the St. Paul thing and epistle thing? But in the whole St. Paul, anybody that had any seasoning about any time, they might have one day been through to take them some lessons. And if they did take some lessons, they would have had it ran in the Dan with the lesson. Because I met me Dan back in the day, and he was the only study partner that believed in the boy. See, he was very kind like that. He believed in the boy. a lot of people, they try to impress the thing. They try to impress a little old bad thing. They try to impress themselves by impressing a little old bad thing. But they don't bring out the best in other people, see? And they don't be laid back like that to bring out the best in other people and to simply believe in the other people that the beginning is as good as the end, if not better than the end, to respect the beginning thing. And that had been your boy Dan since back in the day, had met me into the had been born with the rock and they show me the rock. It don't matter if you go to school or not go to school. It has been rock with the had tell me. And my teacher, they said I had a little bit of bass, but he said you more of a baritone. You will be honest with you. I said I think you more of a baritone. He been getting up and down since back in the day, overseas, fighting, pressing the troop in the football game. He did all the things. He been and he's still doing the thing. You listen to your old beats, your old rock and roll, your old indie, your old EDM, whatever, but you don't know who be laying the guitar. You don't be know who be laying the strings and thing, but that still had been my boy. Like that, had been my boy. Or if it wouldn't be my boy, I bump into me at the songwriting school I was saying, you know what I'm saying? And the owner of the school had been the first one I answered the phone. He about as sturdy as congruent and is kind of a friend and down to earth as you ever gonna meet in his life. Remember that conversation with the rest of your life. I had met the man. He recommended me. If you want to take anything, you take some class in songwriting and the business, because a lot of people, you study boy all up and down the U.S., even the Delta now, they didn't always know them about the business thing. But he said, I recommend the business thing. I got in the business thing. I remember at the game, you know what I'm saying? He had been with some back in the day. He been raising up all against it. Then the deal against all it's only anyone you can mention up and down the street, up and down, all up and down. He done met them folks. He done done the book. But he told me it's more about the sturdy deals now. And it's about how you treat things. And it don't work like the 9 to 5 now. It work more like the 5 to 9 now. It ain't about the 9 to 5, but the 5 to 9 now. So what you doing is 9 to 5, but what get done between 5 to 9 is how it get done now. But it's more about treating people as the golden mean. You want to make you some gold. You gotta be congruent. But the golden mean is even more important than the golden mean. Otherwise, it can come out like gold, because it take a lot of bacon to get gold, but it gotta be on the golden mean standard. Doing to us that he doing the sturdy deal now, and then while he would talk like that, he always will demean the Hassie now, and he had been with the L now, and he said that anything you listen to. And then they had turned the whole scene, the whole aesthetics around the middle thing, your whole man, you know, late 90s, the early 2000s, mid 2000s, you know what I'm saying, with a little bit more the dry, and be so great to walk away. Beautiful, I just want you to know. Anything like that had to do with it had been his hand now, and he was up in the class with the now, and they told me how things get done now. But if it had been anything with the string thing, he don't know who he's doing. It might as well been my boy. Had shown me the lesson now with the but you ain't gonna get on to meet the boy with the eating down unless you had met the Dan in there, boy. And when the Dan in there, boy, had let me exchange the thing. I had already exchanged the thing with the Rudolph thing for the aqua blue romantic thing. Was very romantic. It made me some company now. I did make me some company now, but it didn't get on past enough company now, because there ain't been no company now if you ain't had no breaking now. And a breaking now, sometimes get up on the way to what the boy got by you, that boy didn't be got by you, that boy he ain't right for that about that, but you gonna do what you do, you right and do what you gonna do, so you don't got about them boy. But I did make me some more current company now, have bought me coffee now, and ain't had love you, ain't getting nothing to touch now, so let me in the touch. Her lady old dog now, name Snow now, and let the dog do some of my water, because I had already get the water free now. The only thing left free in the water that I said it was thing, couldn't even hear nothing there, man. Oh no, couldn't even hear nothing, man, because feel what you talking about, because it had been a pit bull now, and the pit bull is the main thing that trip off on somebody, it snap off on somebody, and bite the boy off face now. All your pretty boy, all your lady boy, all your gangster now. You say the wrong thing, the pit bull gonna bite you out now, boy, like that. But the pit bull ain't messed up about nothing about you being big bow tat. No, it's more about how you come at the people now. But they couldn't hear nothing. But you know it was more pretty thing, no white, you know, people they couldn't even hear nothing, but could feel, because couldn't hear, because could still feel now, because it's been a dog, and the dog got more sensitivity than anything. Even you're almost sophisticated now, the dog had hear better now, but this one couldn't even hear nothing but could feel what you say now. And I'm gonna go, it seemed like I'm gonna go with the, because it don't let me hold it while she bought me go now and let me hold the thing with the had the lead now, I rap the lead now. But the dog didn't give no problem because it would have been problem, with me and the lead because the dog would have got over me, could hear it now, would got on, but could feel where your boy coming from. And the old boy still did throw salt on your boy, but it hadn't been real if he hadn't been confident now. Because you talking about this and that, you in love, this and that, you write the old thing and lust on that, but did you have some more confidence now, boy? Like the boy LL Cool J said, if he can't handle competition that ain't real now, boy, and he coming out on the lady boy vibes on that, but Kabuzz come on anything, I'll come on the rock and roll. Somebody can go on a grown ass man, some come on work, come on a fight, come on MMA, come on a gangster, come on the shoot 'em up baby man at the West, at the rock and roll, at the shoot 'em up baby movie. Could come on a video game day, could come on the electronic time, could come on a study thing, could come on a nerd time, could come on any old thing, touch the but he hadn't been real, and this you get a little confident now. And leave me honest, man. Boy Pete Rock said it ain't rough for that right now, boy. But everybody trying to stay away from the conflict, but it ain't been real, ain't been the real 6 minute good rock and roll. We ain't been no conflict now. So boy, bring me the conflict now, boy. Grown ass man, boy, you got the great. Everybody is riding in my bike, but me, you don't give me shot about giving the conflict, man. Give me the conflict, we right from the stove like that, boy. But damn, I forgot what the hell I was talking about. But I did get all the way back on exchange, the romantic thing that did bring me the company, even if it did not bring me no conflict. And the little met me much more of a study partner with my friend, the dog. Couldn't hear nothing now. Old pit bull, old Snow White pit bull, name Snow, female Snow. Couldn't hear nothing, but could feel what you talking about. And I still had a conflict. The old player here, the old grown ass, old ass player here. You can't mention no old ass, but they still, everybody got their pride to be anything they want in this world. Even a player here, and even a player here got to win sometimes because the dog has a day. Even a player here has a day, they could be in trouble for you. The conflict like that, boy. Hey, man, me that conflict, but this study, romantic thing, the aqua blue thing has changed the Rudolph. I intended for the Irish to the blue aqua thing, romantic thing, and brought me to the romance company and the conflict because it had me coming if it ain't come a conflict. Then I went on back to where I had met rock and roll. The rock and roll belonged to the electric guitar. They said the electric guitar was only a phase, but it stayed for like that long. And because it's a natural pair, made in heaven before heaven. Before heaven. You said this and that, but your name was known before this earth. But electric guitar and rock and roll was known before heaven. Happened before heaven. I met me, the only one that's certain enough that could control and hold the reins with much respect and love and enthusiasm, had been my boy today that didn't give me the lesson name, man. But he said, I like your spirit now, man, but you gotta do some work if you want to play this thing. I bumped me to another Spanish guitar player and taught me how to actually approach this with the finger independence now. Get all the way back. It helped, so help me God, right? Get back to my boy original teacher. The original is the original OG. You just talking about the OG, but I'm talking about the OT. You keep your OG because because the G is a lot of trouble, man. You gotta believe in that if you believe in it. But I believe in the T. The only thing greater than the OG is the OT, original teacher. My original teacher didn't Esper around the electric guitar thing. Esper now could prove it. He probably making you whether you bumping, you say fuck that boy up on the screen, you still bumping you something. It had like to be him to touch the old little something with the thing like that. You do that now. I ain't no. But you ain't gonna get all the way up here and you see you have met you get the damn thing. But the kindest thing in St. Paul. Now, I done lived up and down there. I done turned in homework late. I done show up to the job on time. I done duck and dodge and lay low and still got my ass in trouble around in St. Paul. And then got on when all met the founder, the descendant of the founder of the St. Paul. But you still your ass that have met me to lay down in St. Paul, named it after the St. Paul. They have wrote some of the pistol, the finer cream of what you call your holy. Didn't never happen the cream, the pistol, and it's still the capital of the St. I mean, even all that. But you ain't getting on none of that. And even have the confidence and the peace in the serenity and the grace to survive, which is right to let you meet none of that unless you have bumping you the damn thing. So I did return the aqua blue romance. First I had me the Rudolph, the blessing to one and all, man, woman, child, all have been with the Rudolph. And I even met me, someone remind me of with him recommended the art thing. Then I returned because I wasn't always hanging some company. You got bumping, scratching. I don't know. It's good. I returned. I made an aqua blue romance. You know you about romance. You likely like to take you. Probably cool seeing your whole childhood is anytime you got around a swimming pool. You being honest. The best part is what you was always dreaming of is get sometimes, but and then when you got grown, you was more about you transition from the you loved being the child you were in the swimming pool. Then you got to your romance because even by the time you get to Allen, you already consumed. You worried about the had got me the aqua blue romance Spanish guitar. And I returned to the thing to the boy. Then they had also introduced me to a lesson into anything that had to do with anything smooth and likely anybody that got something going on in your whole thing that had born in the day like that. And he bring out the best in people because he very respectful. He respected talent. Before he had become anything, he respected talent. One and all, large, tall, and small. He respect them like that. And he give you your full flower when he first meet you. Even past before you had ever become the Cobain thing. That if you wanted to be you, anybody watching this at one point in time, you want to either be you, the Jackson thing or the Bang thing. But likely, the more you been like that's the thing you became like the Bang, or the more you wanted to be the Bang, you became like. So I was more so with the Bang because I was in my older age. You know, I say I'm gonna wash up. I'm not living around my football on this. I've been in college. I've been best sometimes the best student in the class. But I do I main went to the library when they fucked up and do what they got to do. But I still got me back. And I identify with the Bang thing because he would all he made him all the way up to your NT unplugged thing, and he was more so representing a regular joke type. You know, it could have been anything. Watched can't come up the short from the Pacific North, but it's still the short them, and he represent anything that made it wash up on the shore, but still retain the rock and roll thing. So he's the shore. Anything washed up on the shore that still got the rock and roll is your Bang thing. That's how I have identified like that. And I lived my whole life, and I fashioned myself. And I even told him to feel it. And he told me that he said you don't belong, you don't know. But I said I still about to do because I believe in the remind you of the wash up on the show, but still had a love for the rock and roll now. Because what we started, where you start, where you stop, and you stop, where you start, had been a rock and roll thing. And he said, I don't give a damn if I'm up here on an unplugged this and that. This I'm about to dress. And he still had paid homage to him the belly thing. Because if you're gonna name yourself after anything great, it's gonna be a little bit of metallic. So and if something came first before anything. So I'm saying, but for anything great we got going on, had either been the Jackson thing or the Bang thing. But before both of them had been the lead belly thing, and he still got him into some lot of trouble now because he's in trouble for all. And you could be a great, you could be you something called the belly, but you could still have you some problems. And he did have some problems, but that don't take away the fact that he still had a metallic name now. And had probably been one came before him. But all I'm saying is that you ain't getting on none of that unless you meet you Dan around here. And he's very kind. And so I went back to him and I said, this romantic aqua thing is very great. And I already had me some very great experiences, not too much time. But something still calmed me about the rock and roll. My original teacher had been more so of an electric player with the rock and roll. And I'd like to ask you, sir, do you have anything electric laying around here that I could pick up like that? He said, dang, as soon as you walked in here, you started remind me of this thing here, a little bit more of a yellow thing. But I want to let you know right off the bat, you may have looked at it, had a lower price, but it also had a little bit of a blemish. But that if you go ahead and touch it. See that? That's very smooth now, right? Yes, because it's been refurbished, but you can't get past the fact that it had a blemish because somebody's story is a story. Even something's story is a story. Snow White story, so Snow White story, and the yellow thing story is a yellow thing story, and it did have it a blemish, but it's still electric, and it got a few pickups at a few different ranges of the strings that can give you different sounds, you know. And so you having you this thing right here. If you want to take back I will take the aqua blue romance off of you if you trying to give it to me. And but I ain't so much of a lot because you ain't viable without that. So I still have been where I had been named. So I'm about to give you this old yellow thing right here. And I know this and that through the grapevine. You had to show me this and that you do, but I know you've been talking to you this and that about, amp, this and that. And so the amp is still viable with this thing, more so than the romantic blue. And blue is very romantic color, and so is red as at least as the certain seasons go, like with the Rudolph and his master, the Santa Claus. Santa Claus blessing the children, so Santa Claus the master of masters. You can do anything you want. You could rock anything you want, but it's still coming in under Santa and his white beard. So Santa's white beard lets you have anything you want. You had the Rudolph rock and roll. You had the aqua blue romance Spanish guitar thing like that. Or it's good to go if you want to change it for the yellow rock and roll. It had been the yellow time. Yellow's a very beautiful color. Yellow, most people don't mince. So certain things people don't mince with. People don't mince with words where it had to do with their bank account, and people likely don't mince with the color yellow. If you had seen you the color yellow, it had to do with very more so lean and serious indications, road markings, vehicle markings, indications. When you get you yellow, you ain't all the way in trouble. You still have enough respect that you can still have a free agency, the free will to do the best thing for you and those who are concerned with you, which is all of us. But by the time you get to see yellow, it had meant for real. It had meant business when you see yellow. So you want to do some yellow, or even if you want to get on to yellow rock and roll guitar thing, here you go. It's a yellow rock and roll. You saying you want to give me back? You had already exchanged you. The Rudolph, it had to be some kind of story. It means something to get all the way onto red Rudolph guitar time and exchange it. Then the blue aqua blue romantic guitar thing is a very decent aesthetic. It's a very decent aesthetic. That's a great instrument. Any Spanish guitar that's well made, well crafted, can express you anything you got to say as romance goes. And what has more life of meaning than romance? But even the aesthetic alone could win you some company, and that company likely gonna come with friction or have been real if it didn't come with friction. But you saying you about to bring me back this, and you want you something. So here go this yellow thing. And you've been talking this and that, this and that. This also got multiple pickups at different ranges of the strings that would otherwise be over the sound hole. But this ain't got a sound hole because it's a guitar, but they ain't forgot about nothing you got to say because rock and roll don't forget nothing. So you got 3 different ranges of the pickups on these switches, and come right here with the switches. A lot of people they want the switches for the, you know what I'm saying, and we all love us, and we all came from us, and what one we got to aspire for them, you know what I'm saying. But it still came with multiple ranges, and here go you a yellow thing. Have been to Dan tell me like that. So I'm not saying Dan the greatest man in time, but I'm saying you ain't getting on to nobody, nothing cool worth having unless you have met you certain partner, study partner. I have met me that. So I'm just saying I'm back over the yellow rock and roll vibe time like that, you know. And you think I'm like, you saying, man, this fool crazy, man. This fool popping up in the middle of the land, boy, get it, man. Put it on the voice, man. I can smell the oldest something on the boy, but you know I had them for the healing, man. Because every once in a while, like an indication that certain things it's the exception to the rule, man. So you did stay off the thing. I agreed to stay off the thing, but the thing also can function as medicine. Because if you had lost you something, what you about to sip you before you had some healing? Now even the doctors, they were the greatest form of healing. That you can't suddenly use some form of healing, and it should say why not good as anything. So I'm saying I ain't shy about anything. I ain't, but I also ain't agreed. You call me anything you want. You call me gay. You call me straight. You call me lonely. You call me incel. The same thing that was coined by operatives of the multiple this and that agents, this and that. But can't call me no goddamn liar because I'll be born in that name Bible. They love the Bible. They will ain't lying around here, boy. You know nothing. You call me anything you want, but you wouldn't be congruent if you had called me a liar because I ain't been lying this whole time, boy. But that's me. That's the yellow thing right there, boy. Now sometimes you show things online, and then boy, they pop up and they snatch any old thing from you, boy. They snatch your car, they snatch your houses, they snatch your life, they snatch anything. But that's the rock and roll, and it also wasn't too expensive because it was the refurbished, boy. You see, right there. It got the little old blemish like that, right? And so the sturdy boy Dan, he said, when you buy you this one, it's a little bit lower price, given the fact that it got the multiple ranges of the pickups in its selection thing, well made, well crafted in the first place, but it got a real blemish because it got a real story, so it get a little bit lower price. But I'm about to let you know, this little old blemish is on the body, on the style. It don't make no difference to the sound. If everything make the sound better, because you say you love the study thing, because Anything got a catch. You born for something in this world, boy. We all born for something in this world. But some of your boy, and I'm a student at India, because if you study faith, you might find your way to India, and they got the different castes. You got your Brahmins. They at a certain prestige. You got your business type people, householders, make this world go very sturdy. You got the Sudra, get less respect, but they do the mean old work to make this life happen. And some of them have dispersed the whole world as less respected, but somehow more sturdy, and have traveled the world. Maybe not different from the people that inspired me to be a musician. Some real people I'm from, to cut the kind of cloth I'm from. I don't want to say that. I identify with your different your different suit, your different people, different set, the lower people that get the work done, the mean old work that make the thing gleam, that make the thing shine like that. Then you also got your the warrior type people from India, very strong. But even them would pay respect to your people from Japan, the samurai now type people. And they have a certain aesthetic, acquired taste, appreciation of your sabi and your wabi. Somehow between, I'm referencing Daisetsu Suzuki with the book Samurai Culture, Samurai Japanese Culture, Daisetsu Suzuki, the great teacher of Zen. And he would say you have your aesthetics and principles around sabi and wabi, combination of poverty and loneliness that's exemplified with a certain blemish. So when my grandma, so you wonder how did the boy call talking like them and sitting with it talking like how the hell did he get his hand on the old yellow thing like that? Ain't too expensive, but it's still a yellow thing like that. How the hell did that boy did that? Because your boy grandma had passed away, and she said, I'm about to pass away. Your granddaddy passed away. Best thing you had going on in life is your granddaddy, because wouldn't be you was born on the same day as our anniversary, but you wouldn't have had nothing to say about nothing. It had been us anniversary came first, and your granddaddy then me, and so you may now make your decision what you like to do. I made that decision heretofore after the fact, and I picked me the yellow thing. But also when he had passed away, we got to inherit different things that would belong to grandma and granddaddy. My different cousin, my different brother, everybody wanted them something that all I wanted was a simple cup, because they came through the depression and they had portion control, that is portion control. And I respected the way that they made decisions around food the whole time, and I emulated it the whole time. The only thing I wanted me was their cup, little old red cup that had belonged to them, and I respected that cup and them because it reminded me of them and their portion control. But when I received it, it had a blemish on it. It had a chip, and the same yellow thing had that same chip like that. And that reminds you of the sabi wabi, that is the beauty of loneliness and poverty and loneliness, as it is suitable and pleasing and its self-expression. And that you learn that from if you study and appreciate other cultures, no less than the samurai in the Japanese culture. So if I ever have bump into me the samurai, you need a long and short range form implement. I got me the long range form of the guitar thing. You can plug it into any app and get on over the airways and you touch the whole world. Or you got the short range, and that's the voice now, because the voice is the most beautiful thing, but you can also use the voice for the long range things. And so a combination of guitar, and you're trying to pick you everything, man. You're trying to do everything. You're trying to be the data this, make 500 times this. You're trying to do all that. I respect that. But if you be honest, make you one decision, but you're also duplex. You got two brains, two nostrils, two eyes, two lungs. So if you're all the way honest, if you're completely honest, you ain't about to make you just decide one anything, because you have been duplex, wavering, dual, duplicitous as this reality. So pick you two, if you're honest. Pick you two, long range, short range. For me, that's the guitar thing. They took me a long way to figure it out, but having the yellow guitar thing, electric thing, and the voice. That's my two selections. I commend you and I offer you and I wish you two selections that make you mean something in this world. For me, have been the long range and short range, similar to your great people from Japan in the aesthetics like that. But for me, so this is the yellow thing like that. But mine had a blemish like that. I am a. How could you define me in one word? Blemish. But that's also synonymous with beauty if you have the acquired taste for that. Had been the little old yellow thing like that right there, but I ain't no damn lie, because I showed you the yellow thing right there. It wasn't too more expensive than it had to be, because it did have it a blemish, but that makes it more rock and roll like that. What I'm saying. So I'm about to land this one as soon as I can. So I wanted to, so that other video, I was trying to remember what the hell I was talking about. So I was saying that to add on to the proverb, your man Solomon, some of the beautiful things you may say. That I have some people that say that you ain't to add on to scripture, but under normal circumstances, you don't add on to scripture for nothing. But the exception also proves the rule. So I'm gonna add on to that. Some of the beautiful things you may see in this life is a man with a maiden of age. The proverb say that that's a beautiful thing. Another beautiful thing would be the adroit skill of a spider. That'd be another thing. You use some electric thing long enough and your fingers, you do it the right way, it starts to remind you of a spider. But another thing that's beautiful in this life that you may see would be the gait, the stride of a sincere runner, an ardent runner who challenged themselves. You see the stride of the sincere stride of a runner. That's one of the beautiful things you may see in this life. That's what I was reaching for in the other video. Now, when you want to train you to be a runner, you may not get all the way to doing so without a cadence. You need a cadence. So what I was saying is that you can listen to anything. You can bump you anything. You can sing you anything. You can think you anything. You can listen to anything as you would be training for something such as endurance. I challenge anyone listening to this. There's two difficult things you may do. Now, my selections were the long and short range form, your guitar thing and your voice thing. If you were to you play guitar long enough, you can play all the fancy chops, the lamb chops, this and that. And when I say lamb chops, I'm just making a reference that when you play well, it's called chops. And so to humorously, I'm saying lamb chops. You can play you all the scales, but people ain't jacking with you until it had been about the chords. If you read, there's a book called Guitar Chord Theory. The first thing that I explain is that the guitar is basically and bestly summarized as an accompaniment. The guitar is an accompaniment to a voice. You play guitar because you're working up the courage to sing. A cappella singing doesn't need any instrument. If I had to isolate the best form of music, pound for pound, the best music instrument or implement that's available, the best music form, the strongest music form, the music form that needs the least assistance to tread water by itself in the middle of the ocean by itself till you had got stranded in the ocean and forgot how you survived this many hours because your body went into autopilot to do nothing but tread water to survive until someone come pick you up. There's real stories like that. Had been the acapella now, the acapella singing now. But to get you up to that confidence, you need you a little bit of the guitar thing. It help you get all the way. The guitar thing is like the rocket booster. No, rocket can't transcend the atmosphere and get all the way up there without a little bit of assistance. Because from Houston to ground control had been the guitar thing. Guitar thing to steady Houston to ground control to get you like that. But after that, if anything, it's gonna be the acapella, if anything. But if you're gonna train you to run, the long and short range. Now, the most beautiful thing you can do artistically, I think, the most abstract of which artistically is long and short range artistry, the guitar and voice. But even deeper than that, and what that would bring you, if you did it well, would be wealth. The greatest form of wealth is health. Wealth. The superior form of wealth is health. Long and short range, what is that? The long and short range is strength and endurance. Wealth part excellence is health part excellence. That means endurance and strength. Static and kinetic. It's all activity, static and kinetic. So it's going to be strength and endurance if it's going to be optimal. That's the highest. Now, we're talking about beyond Super Saiyan now. If you want to listen to something great now, I recommend you Broily Gaines. He says do these, and he teaches a lot of beautiful teachable content. He has some of the most subscribers I've ever seen in my life, at least 2 million subscribers now, and he's damn well worth it because he put in the work to do it. I'm running my mouth more so, but he run his body, and he said he teaches you the strength like that, and he goes off of the sayings, but to add on to him to commend him, the greatest person would have made the greatest statement. But to make the greatest statement, you also need the greatest reference. I am not the greatest YouTuber, but to be similar to the greatest YouTuber, I would have to reference the greatest YouTuber. That would be Broily Gaines. I'm not cloud chasing. This is teachable. I'm talking about the greatest The most valuable thing you can do is express yourself. Some of the most the something one thing that you can do, the deepest thing you can do to have a word that doesn't mince, that means what it says, is to be like the samurai. You become the greatest fighter. Some of the most lucrative, interesting content is fighting. You become the greatest fighter. What does that mean? It means that your words mean what your words mean. That's the compensation for being true, to being a warrior. One of the greatest things, or the beautiful things you may see in this life, is a man with a maiden of age, the adroit skill of a spider, a runner that has a confident, excellent stride, winsome stride, and also I lost that. But self-expression is up there with that. Long and short range, voice and guitar, but then similar. And what that's the most valuable thing. Oh, warrior is another beautiful thing you may see. A warrior. But what does a warrior amount to? It just simply means that your words start to mean what they sound like. Your words are convincing. You go through all that it takes to be a warrior. You impale yourself by the stomach. So why do you impale yourself by the stomach as a samurai, if it came to that? Because your master died and you're not viable without your master. It's so that your master's word, who is also you, who's also your word, it means what it says, even if it means impaling yourself by the stomach. So the outcome, the objective, the bounty of being a sincere warrior is that your words now ring true. That's what that means. But then you take that beyond another step. What is it? What can you do with your words being true? Is that you express yourself, hopefully artistically, in the spirit of life, but simply that you express yourself and your words are valuable. If you're to do that, you need a long and short range form. I recommend an instrumental company and the voice. For me, that's guitar and the voice. But that's the most valuable thing you can do. But what is the most value? What does value amount to? It amounts to wealth. What is the greatest wealth? It is the greatest, that would be to reference, the greatest statement you can do is to reference the greatest person. The greatest YouTuber I know of is Broly Gaines, who's reminiscent of the Saiyans and the aesthetics around Dragon Ball Z, but he himself is an athlete, beyond an athlete, a teacher. The only thing higher thing than an athlete is a teacher, Broly Gaines. He teaches a lot of strength, but I'm saying as endurance goes, I actually have some experience with endurance, more so than strength, endurance. And as endurance goes, you may not get all the way onto the greatest endurance, the greatest stride, without practicing that way to get that way. And that takes a cadence. And so for anything you would bump, hip hop, R&B, the love of your life, the doo-wop, the R&B, the type of time, the warrior time, whatever you do that for, the most beautiful part of that, the deeper cadence I know that you could run with would be the chicken and the corn. Because I met a real street brother and he jacked him the chicken and the corn. He liked him the song Chicken and the Corn. If you were to listen to that as a cadence, you could really teach yourself endurance. If you can do endurance, you can do strength. If you can do strength and endurance, you have wealth par excellence. Part of, but not better than, but part of progeny. The greatest thing a person can amount to is their healthy progeny. But that too takes strength and endurance. To support that, to enjoy that, to do anything else that would be secondary to that, it still takes strength and endurance. I'm saying if you want strength, the quickest hack is to educate yourself. YouTube is a great platform. YouTube University. Check out Broly Gaines, teach you strength. But I'm saying as endurance goes, I met a real street person who put me onto the song Chicken and the Corn. That's the greatest cadence to run to. If you can run to the song Chicken and the Corn, you can run to anything. And past the sun rising and falling, you can run with the sun. You can run past the sun, because the sun ain't the be all end all. You wake up every damn day, that alarm rings, and you know that sun about to bear down on you. PM means post meridian. AM means ante meridian. You're talking about that. So your whole life revolves around the clock. The clock revolves around AM and PM. Ante and post meridian, that's noontime, baby. Noontime, the sun is high in the sky. We about to meet around noon. They about to do the showdown at the OK Corral with the high noon. And if you ain't dead, you a coward. And if you dead, you about to be dead either way. So you a coward or dead if you show up at the OK Corral with anything that wasn't already OK Corral, baby. But that's still no higher than the sun in the sky, as the sun will be at high noon, and you can meet it. We're about to go down, about to do it, because I'm more so practicing singing than anything. It take more heart to study the work to sing than anything. That's where you can find me show up somewhere, pop up somewhere, and it been expected, but expected to sound singing it. It's a chop with the doo-wop at the high noon. But the sun ain't also the highest thing in the sky. It's more things even past the sun. And but it's still but it had been the chicken and the corn. And if you read the chicken and the corn cadence, you can stand eye to eye, toe to toe with the sun as so long as the sun may abide in the sky. Our sun of our local solar system that these many eons have had to check in with, whether they do the bogus stuff at night or they do the strong stuff during the day, they had to check in and consider the sun. All of you, mind you, if you wanted to see eye to that and surpass that, because anything can be surpassed with repetition and intention, even our old sun. But you still need a cadence and rhythm to do so. I recommend Chicken and the Corn. Had been recommended to me by a traveling ukulele in a real street type dude that had been on a hard time like that. Taught me the song Chicken and the Corn. So commendation, your boy Broly Gaines, greatest YouTuber. Broly Gaines, teach you strength. Greatest content, Chicken and the Corn, teach you cadence. Between that, you have strength and endurance. You have all wealth right there. Anything else is secondary. Any insight, anything is secondary to wealth. It all starts inside with wealth, strength, and endurance. Don't take much more than that. And I'm gonna reference that. That's the greatest value I can offer on my channel and my mouth is them two. Your Broly Gains, and because you gotta pay what you weigh, you pay it forward. I'm paying 700 videos now. This is 700 videos now. 700, mind you. Check the stats now. Numbers don't lie now. Look at me. Look into your boy now. See how many videos I didn't put up now in shy of a year. It's been shy of about 2 weeks, shy of a year now. It's me now, on here now, on your YouTube now. I started with the music content, discovery song, but I'm now where I'm at now. And I'm saying, that ain't child's play. But I served a lot of children, and that's my vocation, and I would do nothing better than to serve children and give me the standpoint to do some of this content. And I'm saying, the greatest thing you can do is to reference one greater than you, to bow down to one greater than you, to humble yourself before one greater than you. So if I pop up with my first video, cloud chasing, that's cloud chasing. But if I pop up with my 700 video, and I'm referencing now, that's a statement now. That's for the fact now. That's for the record now. So I'm saying your greatest content creator is your boy Broly Gaines. Teach you simple strength. Do these. Peep game recognized game. Pay it forward. Pay homage where it's due. That's your greatest YouTuber that I'm aware of, because he's teaching strength now. Your greatest content musically, and he probably even bump him some music, but I'll say better than anything on his playlist would be your song Chicken in the Corn now. Pure creativity, pure sobby wobby, pure poverty and loneliness, and esteem through that have been reckoned to me by a real street dude. Have been recommended to me. Those together, you have now strength and endurance. You have all wealth at your command there. After that, you have the intellect. I have a lot of intellectual content. It may be valuable to someone or not. Take it or leave it. And so I'm gonna land this there on the 700 videos. But the only other thing I wanted to say with that is that, and I'm gonna land this here, and then I think I might try to take this content in a different direction now, because I have some different ideas. I would like to get back onto, I'm a lover, not a fighter. If you're explaining things, you're fighting. So this has been a skill set to do a lot of fighting out here, but I'm actually more of a lover. And what I spend more time doing anything in this life, whether I got the opportunity or not. Because if it's really you do it whether you got the opportunity or not, before you ever had got the opportunity. For me, that's a lover. I am a lover, not a fighter. One time someone approached me. He said, I like the way you seem like you got the ball to do this and that. Watch you can't do that. I respect them this and that, but they had still been bold this and that, but I learned my lesson this and that. And I had still been. And if I ever had a chance to have the most important day of my life again, I'll say, hey, baby, I'm a lover, not a fighter. Even if nobody love you, boy, I'm still a lover and not a fighter. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm just, Billy, it's not my, I'm just that, because I'm a lover, not a fighter. So I'm gonna get back to that time. And you call cap, and I say you're right. You're damn right. But I ain't about to slow down, and I'm about to take. So you want to do something? Be a good steward of what you already have. I'm gonna take what I already have to be what I already been, which have been a lover, not a fighter. And I wouldn't have got to be if I hadn't been a lover, not. So I'm a lover, not a fighter. And I'm gonna try to re-engineer content. But I've been working on that the whole time. So you've been thinking that you see sometimes somebody will sell you a pump fake and a knuckleball. So a lot of you ready for anything. You prepare for anything. You ready for the shit hit the fan, right? But you hadn't been practicing for you a knuckleball. So I've been doing this much sturdy content with the intellectual, this and that. But I've also been practicing the chop to watch do to go and make the romance happen anywhere, anyhow, anytime, like that. Because if you didn't get 1,000 and you didn't get 1,000 in, but I damn well did get 1,000 in, so help me God. I don't know what anybody worship, but so help me God. I've been getting your rep in like that. To be a lover, not a fighter. And it take practice, anything, even to be a lover, not a fighter. So I'm going to get back onto that. But with my 700 here, I'm landing with 700. I gave you the game now. Now anything you want now, good, bad, or ugly, romance, or indifference, it start and stop and end with the gold now. But the gold start and end and stop with the health now. The health start and end and stop with the strength. You can't do, so according to India, to do anything, you need Kriya, Jhana, and Kriya, Jhana, and Ika, I think. Will, knowledge, action. To have an outcome, you need will, knowledge, action. So I'm saying I put some knowledge on here. If you want the will, you can go to Broly Gains and get the strength. And if you want the action, you need repetition and cadence. That's your song Chicken in the Corn right there. Greatest cadence available online. Any music, your whole hip hop canon, your whole R&B, your whole online, your whole music, your whole Spotify, your whole anything, I do anything. Your greatest cadence that's available is Chicken in the Corn. That's your strength and endurance. Then beyond that, and what's gonna call the tune for all that and make the opportunity for all that is gold. Your gold comes first and second. But I'm saying there's no more gold than those things, and to think for yourself. So I'm hoping with this content to offer to think for yourself and ask yourself questions. That's even greater than anything that's available. Even that song Chicken in the Corn, even that content Broly creator, the yet greater power. Because all things are about power. You can be any nice guy you want, anything you want, any worthy thing you want, any pious anything you want, but it still come down to power. The greatest power is a question. I think there's 5 forms of statement. There's a command, maybe an observation, a question, like an emotion, like an exclamation point, and one other one. But the most potent is a question, and the greater question to ask is aimed at yourself. And so anything that you would reason out for yourself is as much of a resource or reference as anything you would learn from someone else. So one example of that is I've thought about colors a little bit, and I've alluded to that in some recent videos. And I don't know all that there is about colors, but I know that wherever you would have seen in color in your life, it has meaning, and some of that is repetitive. So I think that when you see the color blue, you're seeing tradition and the strength of tradition, because every morning that you've ever had in your life, and also your ancestors, anyone who's lived upon the earth, their day was presided over by the color blue, the blue sky. So the color blue is very reminiscent of tradition. I think that the color red is it's transcendent. So if you see red as in blood, like fresh blood that's been spilled, or the blood of that a woman passes, normally in nature, when the color red occurs, it has to do with transcendence. It's something to do with transcending here and hereafter. Some people have said that women are like a connection, a gate to the spiritual realm, to the stars, to whatever we come from, and the alignment. Women are, you don't actually get to meet a beautiful woman until you've made certain decisions that have to do with what you are believing or what you're afraid of, that are your real decisions with real penalties behind them, good and bad, still penalties. That would put you in alignment to meet a beautiful woman. You don't get to meet a woman or have any significant experience with her outside of the alignment of decisions you've made that have real cost behind them. But also a color that a woman would pass would be the color red. And so women are like, they're a portal between the alignment of the stars and what your real decisions of bravery and cowardice here. And normally the color red, it's very transcendent like that. So it's like, that's why I think that if a person were to see, like, heavens forbid, a crime scene, and you see that much of the color red, it's not just that you're seeing body fluids, but you're also seeing the color red, and it wouldn't occur other than to be a portal somehow. So red, when you see red, like say blood has been spilled, something or someone is transitioning between worlds when you would see the color red. That's one thing I think about the color red. And I just said what I think about the color blue. I think the color green is the color of poison, because our life is a lot of poison. And even the things that help, according to Nassim Nicholas Taleb, when you eat things like a fruit or vegetable, these plants have an interest in survival, not being consumed. So what they furnish of themselves, whether vegetables or fruit, that can be a health benefit, it's actually a form of poison. But it's kind of like when you see a fish that has like another fish that's on it. It's like some things of parasites are a little bit of a parasites, and some forms of like bacteria, like gut health, like when you take probiotics, they're it's like a complementary it's like it works for both parties. And I think that poison is like that, where fruit, vegetables, and medicine, they're actually still poison because they're protecting themselves, according to Nassim Nicholas Taleb, but they can be mutually beneficial. So you have poisons that are mutually exclusive, mutually beneficial, and mutually detrimental. But what we would call food and or medicine would be either neutral or positively beneficial. What we call poison would be either neutral or negatively beneficial. But also, for it being negatively beneficial, it can seldom and sometimes be moderate, neutrally or affirmatively beneficial, such as when a person is bitten by a snake, they take an antidote, which is yet another form of poison, but it's a curated and it is dosed appropriately as to be a benefit and to dispense with lesser or more inimical poison in the first place, which had been the snake bite. But such as also food and medicine, and those are different tiers of green. So when you'd be in nature, there'd all be all different shades of green, which are all different shades of poison, but they can work because they're protecting themselves, but they can work to your benefit and be complementary or adverse. But even what's adverse can be complementary if it's skillful enough. That's some of my appreciation of colors. Then the color white is a fateful color. So when you see the color white, it means fate and destiny. Like when I was young, I had some friends that were Native American, and you can catch anything if you're clever enough. And they would actually catch these wicked spiders, because we had a lot of deadly spiders in the Southwest. And my friend would say, "Oh, see this?" He taught me what the word Satan means, and he also would teach me about spiders. So he would catch black widow spiders, deadly spiders. He would actually catch their ass like that and make a little jar and a science experiment out of them. My friend would do that. His name was Brandon. If you think I'm a goddamn liar, I'm talking about Brandon in New Mexico. He had a brother named Marcus who was even more of a badass, but he had athlete's foot and his feet stank to high heaven. But his older brother, Brandon, was very sturdy like that. And his dad was also very sturdy. And they had a younger daughter. And his father would put me in, they had these little, sometimes electric cars. They only went like 3 or 4 miles an hour, but it would actually drive itself as a car that children could play in. And his daddy put me in that car with their very little sister. And he said, "This is night now. We're heading out on a party now. But I want you to drive my baby around the complex now. Show her a good time like that. Right? Because I believe you'll bring her back safely like that." He had put me onto that. If anyone think I'm lying, because the details prove the rule. But Brandon, the older brother, they were both my friends, these two. And they were Navajo. And he caught this little wicked ass spider and had a white spot on it. By the time that spider get to bite your ass with that white spot, that's here on after, baby. That's to the afterlife. That's forever now, because it had been white like that. So white means forever. White is very serious. So you think about when a man passes a bodily fluid to give another life, it's also white like that. And also, water has been around for a long time. So part of the permanence and the tradition of blue, the color blue, like when you would see the blue sky, the repetition of that, the regularity of that, the permanence of that, this the severity of that, and the regularity of that being the blue sky. It's the reflection of the atmosphere off the blue ocean, which is water. And water, it confounds our sense of time because it's like that. So our very body fluids, so you can be anything, right? You can say vows to anything, right? But if somebody put their old body fluids on your old lady like that, that would confound you and that could break you like that. Because damn, this first, because anything that had ever been said in life, according to Arthur Avalon, had been said forever. You can't say things once; you say it forever. By the time you get to say it out your mouth, it already existed on some level, subtle to causal to subtle to gross, expressed. Had been anything that you would say or do, but also such as also water is equally timeless. So by the time you get to put body fluids on another person or in another person, that's very significant because